And welcome to this edition of ACAP Today. I'm Jason Parent. This is ACAP Today for Friday, April 10th, 2020, and welcome to the program. In just a little bit, we're going to talk about, this is Family Focus Friday. We started Family Focus Friday last week with some great folks from early care and education. This week, we're going to talk to a couple of our prevention professionals here in Aroostook County who are helping especially young children and young families stay healthy and stay active. And so we'll be speaking with Renee Bragdon and Alison Gooding in just a little bit. But before we have the feature interview for today, as we always do, we want to bring you the headlines and news you need to know from the Aroostook County Action Program and some of our partners. And so we're going to begin today with a new resource that is available, as Mother Nature today has given us the best of springtime weather, if you will. We are trying to provide our customers with additional technology, not only in this pandemic, but especially on a day like today. So we are excited to share that we've created a new tool to better connect our clients to the over 40 programs that ACAP offers. Now, if you are in need of assistance, this short profile that's accessible through our website and through a link on Facebook will allow us to get back in touch with you and to help better direct your services. The more information that you can provide, the better that we will be able to serve you in terms of helping to direct you to the proper services. If your household income, for example, has been impacted by COVID-19, we ask you to please indicate that in the notes section of the form that you are now seeing on your screen. But again, a new opportunity for you to reach out to us to get us more information so that we can contact you and be as helpful as we possibly can. So please do check that out again through our Facebook page or online at acap-me.org. So another opportunity that we talked about a little bit yesterday and we want to share more information with you on is the Home Energy Assistance Program. Home Energy Assistance Program is an effort to keep and support households throughout Maine, especially now that there have been temporary changes that have been made to this program that will allow many who have lost income due to COVID-19 to be eligible now. Recognizing that many people who would normally be ineligible for the program due to household income levels have experienced a sudden drop in their income. So please do give us a call. Maine Housing, our partners that work on this program with us, have temporarily changed their calculation formula to provide assistance to these individuals. The change is currently in effect and it will be through the 1st of May 2020. You can call us at 764-3721 if you feel that you may be in need of home energy assistance or fuel to heat your home. Another program that we remind you is available for folks and income eligibility has been adjusted around COVID-19 is the Women, Infant, and Children's Program, or the WIC program. Again, give us a call, 764-3721, so that we can help you connect to either or both of these programs. Today was the first day for the new wellness shelter for individuals who are experiencing homelessness at the University of Maine at Presque Isle. It is the proud partnership of ACAP, the University of Maine at Presque Isle, Maine Housing, the Aroostook Emergency Management Agency, Homeless Services of Aroostook, and the City of Presque Isle. I'm told by our team working on site at the wellness shelter that we do have 4 individuals who are taking advantage of the shelter at this point at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. So we certainly have seen the need for that, and we want to say an extra special thank you to all of our partners, both those listed on the screen and a number of other partners who have come to the table to make this happen. We made this happen in just a week's time here in Aroostook County, and in other parts of the state it took about 3 weeks to get a shelter set up in southern Maine, and there's still working to set up shelters in central parts of the state. So this is really the result of a great team effort from a lot of people here at ACAP and certainly in the community as well, namely our partners at the University of Maine at Presque Isle. So a special thank you to all of the partners on this initiative. We want to remind everyone that ACAP offices effectively are closed to the public through at least April 30, 2020. And I say through at least as we are going to reassess that as we move forward and be certain to share with you any new closure date as we move forward. We want to also inform folks about a financial literacy course offering. As you know, ACAP is here to combat poverty in Aroostook County in a number of different ways. And one of the ways that we're able to do that is to help families and individuals with household budgeting. This financial literacy course being offered by Chastity Holland, who's working in our Improving Outcomes for Youth program, is specifically designed for individuals or families in the 16 to 24 age range category. There will be 3 upcoming sessions that will be held. We encourage you to contact Chastity at the number or the email address on your screen. For individuals or families who participate in 3 sessions, all 3 sessions that are offered, a free $25 gift card will be awarded at the end of those sessions. So an extra incentive to take those classes. This is also Head Start recruitment season, although we're not able to see children in our centers at this time or to be able to engage with children and families who may be interested in the Head Start program in person. You can certainly go online to our ACAP website, go on to the Early Care and Education for ACAP Facebook page and learn how you can register. But certainly do call us today at 768-3045 if you think you have a child that you would like to register in the Head Start or Early Head Start program. And even expectant mothers can register for the Early Head Start program. So if you are an expectant mother and would like to get your family enrolled in Early Head Start, please do give us a call as well. And don't worry if you're not near one of our centers, because we do have Head Start home visitors that visit the further away communities from our centers and can serve you right in your home. So please do give us a call. And lastly, a reminder that this is a census year, despite everything else that's going on. And certainly it is very important. Many of the programs that we've talked about in this broadcast so far are dependent upon the population numbers and the recorded population numbers at the decennial census in terms of what funding comes to those programs. So please do take some time to complete the census information that was forwarded to you. Earlier this week, we were registering about a 32.7% response rate in Aroostook County. So about a third of the people who received the census information have completed it. And I know that we can do better than that. So please do continue to get that information in as needed. And so with that, it is my pleasure to introduce to the program our 2 guests for today. Alison Gooding, as I pointed out, runs our SNAP Ed program. She's going to tell us all about that in just a little bit, specifically in the Southern Aroostook area. Alison, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Jason. Glad to be here.
Great. And Renee Bragdon operates is the lead person for our 5210 Let's Go program, and that extends all over Aroostook County. So Renee, you are joining us from your loft at this point. Nice to welcome you to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So let me begin, Alison, with you, and I'm going to ask the same question of both of you, and then we'll go back to you, Alison, for a little bit more detail on the program. But we've been talking with all of our guests at how these are very, can't overuse the word, I guess, unprecedented times, and providing service to families, to individuals, to youth. A lot of what you do may have happened in settings that are certainly not able to host community gatherings, as we're not doing those at all at this point. How are we serving individuals through this program?
You're absolutely right. It's certainly surreal as far as what we're going through right now, but we're finding creative solutions to finding workarounds so that we can still provide services, specifically with SNAP Ed, in our communities. And I'm pretty excited about this, actually, because we're looking at ways to teach virtually instead of teaching in person, since we can't do that right now. We're still going to be able to, we think, provide services through social media. So it's an exciting new opportunity for us to do that.
Renee Bragdon, are you finding the same is true in 5210 Let's Go? That you're finding new and creative ways to do things and reach people?
Right. So typically we do a lot of face-to-face, and a lot of my job is traveling. And so we definitely have been creative, trying to send out surveys, doing online trainings instead. And I've been able to do a lot of mailing printed resources. So that seems to be helpful too.
Great. So we call our Friday episode Family Focus Friday. And so I know that a lot of the work that you do reaches across the family, and certainly that's true for you, Alison. So tell us a little bit about what the program that you lead, the SNAP Ed program, is all about, and how it's helping families in Southern Aroostook in particular.
I'll be glad to. I get to work for Maine SNAP Ed. And Maine SNAP Ed, to start with the big picture, is it's funded by the USDA, and they run the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and we know that as SNAP. That's more familiar to us as SNAP. And SNAP Ed gets to be administered by the Maine Department of Health and Human Services, and it's implemented statewide through the University of New England, and the University of New England has contracts with different organizations, just like ACAP. So I get to work for ACAP, and I get to provide education to families on ways to provide low-cost, healthy foods, as well as healthy eating and cooking on a budget. I work with families with members of all ages. I don't particularly work with the family group, but I do classes from toddlers, school age students on up through senior citizens. So I get to work with our community to find out ways to eat more healthfully.
So Alison, as you're doing that right now, are you finding is it more difficult for folks to access some of the foods? I know that there have been some food shortages in the stores and the like. So are you having conversations around that? Especially some of the,
Yes.
I was in the store the other day and the only eggs left were the organic, the most expensive eggs. And so the
Yes.
combination of trying to eat healthy and eat on a budget, is that being pinched a little bit right now?
Yes, I think people are certainly finding that to be a challenge. So these are good opportunities for us to get the word out about how you can really look at healthy eating on a budget. For example, I do classes with adults in order to get that message across. So yes, I see that certainly myself with looking for provisions that aren't necessarily there or are not necessarily there the way that they used to be. So that's a challenge for all of us.
So now talk to me a little bit about where you want to share this next slide that you shared with us, with our viewers, and it's a very colorful slide. So talk to me about this slide and all of the work that you're doing that sort of is encompassed in this slide.
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to choose as an example because we're just about ready, not quite, but just about ready to roll out this new virtual teaching opportunity. And I will be partnering with our ACAP teachers in the Holton area to work with the teachers, the families, the students. I've already started to teach the SNAP Ed course called Eat Well, Play Hard with our youngest participants, and they are people who are ages 3 or 4. And I get to, what I have done up till now is to work with them in the classroom briefly. I started in January, so this is a new experience for all of us. And what we're going to be looking toward is shifting that method of delivery. I can still do all of the teaching that I've done in person. I may have to modify a few things, but the way that I'm thinking about it, I've tried to pick activities that don't have to be modified too much. So I'm going to give you a sneak preview of what our next teaching opportunity will be. It's called Flavorful Fruit for the Eat Well, Play Hard people at home. So these would be for the families of the Holton ACAP children. And we've figured out we think we figured out some pretty creative ways in order to provide food for the kiddos. And I think yesterday that Sue Powers and Rena and Vicki were talking about how food is delivered by bus all around the community. And we do the same thing. There's a slight difference with that, but we think that we might be able to provide the SNAP Ed snack right along with the delivery to the homes. So we'll just write on the bag, please don't eat it yet until we do this SNAP-Ed teaching. So,
that might be too tempting for a 3-year-old, I'm guessing, Alison.
well, we'll trust that a parent or a caregiver will be able to hold that up until we get to do the teach. But for example, this flavorful fruits, we're going to be talking about apples. And I can talk about, well, I happen to have just one color of an apple at home, but in this particular lesson, I would be providing red apples, green apples, and yellow apples. So like maybe a half of an apple that have been cleaned and packaged ready to be healthfully sent out to the children. But I can certainly do exactly what I would do in person. And you may have seen my poster on my door behind me. That's called My Plate. And this is a up-close version of it. But this is the type of teaching that I would do where half of your plate is meant to be half fruits and vegetables. So we talk about the importance of healthy eating and healthy fruits and vegetables. And I can certainly do, as you may have already seen on the YouTube page, our channel for ACAP, I've done some reading, and oh, it's such fun. I'd like to challenge others to do some reading as well, but I might read orange, pear, apple, bear. And this bear has a pear and an orange and an apple, and you have to wait to find out what he does with them. So I get to read stories sometimes, not always. And I also would send home with the lunch and the snack and the SNAP-Ed food, we'd send home, I'd send home the parent page, as well as an activity page for the child and a family page. So it would look something like this. And I think you might have a slide of that as well.
Yep, I will bring that up right now.
Sure. They're really useful. So the parent page that would go home would have tips, like tips to enjoy more fruit. And this one happens to have a great recipe for homemade applesauce. The back of it is, I enjoyed fruit this week. And this is where the families, I would challenge you to work with your child and find fun ways for your little person to identify. Maybe they want to draw a picture of whatever fruit they had or color it a different color in that box. So Monday, you have an opportunity to have 5 different fruits. So if you color in a box, like I just happen to use Post-it notes. So if you've got Post-it notes, just stick on a sticker that shows, or you could do a smiley face or whatever, stick on a sticker that shows what color food you had to eat that day. Now I'm on Friday, and you might have something like grapefruit for a choice. And I actually did have blueberries in my yogurt at lunch, so I would put that on there. So they can figure out ways that will work for their little person at home to encourage them to eat different colors of fruit, because that helps us to be more healthy as well.
And we're looking to deliver those materials through the Head Start program deliveries that we're currently doing with other instruction.
We try to piggyback with them. We're not quite ready to roll it out. We're working on ways for us to perhaps share, if it's a Zoom link or some other fashion that we will work together. We're being flexible, and we're not quite ready yet, but that's kind of a sign of things to come.
So folks out there who may be interested, kids who are home right now, everyone's being homeschooled at this point right now.
Yes.
How do they get in touch with you to connect if they think that you could be a very positive resource for them?
Well, I have some information how you can reach out to me now. We're not in the office, obviously, so I'm providing you with my work cell phone, which is just there, or you can email me. Either way will work, but my cell phone is 768-1869. And you can certainly, in the meantime, if you are just thinking about, well, I wonder what SNAP-Ed has to offer. If you go to the main snap-ed.org webpage, there's all kinds of material there for you, recipes and tips and tricks and ways that you can access your own self to eat on a budget. Lots of different good ideas there. So there's some different opportunities for you.
Wonderful. Alison Gooding, thanks for talking with us. You're going to stay on the line here as we're going to transition over to Renee Bragdon. Renee, I know that you work all across Aroostook County, and you work with the programs geared to young children, but certainly there's benefit for the entire family. So tell us a little bit about what the 5210 program is all about.
Sure, I'd love to. I'm the coordinator for the Let's Go program, and it's a program that's nationally recognized. It's a childhood obesity prevention program, and we reach children and families where they're living, where they're playing, and where they're working. Let's Go is committed to changing environments, and we try to work on policies such as early childcare programs and schools, rec departments, anywhere that kids and people are. And so this slide coming up, our message is 5210, and a lot of people do know what that means, but I kind of just want to cover that again, just in case it is new. The 5 stands for fruits and vegetables, and we're promoting the fact that 5 fruits and vegetables a day would be sufficient, and 2 hours or less of screen time, recreational screen time, and 1 hour or more physical activity, and 0 sugary drinks. And so that's kind of what we're encouraging families and children to do.
So you and Alison could color coordinate together, because some of those 5 fruits and vegetables, we could get some different colored
Right.
stickers up there.
Right, and that's why we find it's great to work together, because we definitely have a lot of the same message.
Yeah, I love that synergy, and the synergy seems to extend also with early care and education, because you're working with children and their families, and so that's what we're doing across the agency. Talk to me about why there's such an important need for this program, Renee. I know that there's some statistics out there we're going to share. I'll share my screen again of some of the information that you've provided, but why is this so important?
Well, it is proven that children who are fed well and get plenty of physical activity, they just tend to be healthier and they behave better. Sometimes they're more focused, sick less often, and they kind of do better in school. So a lot of this is key for academic performance as well.
So we're looking at now the slides that show here the prevalence of childhood obesity, and I know that is a challenge, and a lot of parents are challenged, and really right now, as more children are home and they're maybe not getting the physical education classes, or they're not getting, well, they are, a number of them are having school meals delivered to them that are more balanced. But what are you seeing and what are you hearing out there from parents in terms of maybe how you can help, or things that folks can do at home to achieve 5210 Let's Go? Right.
So together with the home office, I've been able to partner, and we are sending out a mass survey to all of our childcare providers, and we're actually looking to get feedback specifically from them. And so I'm interested to see what the results show, but we definitely want to be a resource for them. And so we want to find out who's up and running and who's may have closed. So I guess that's a factor too, to be able to be that resource and first find out who's still running.
Great. Now, Renee, as again, we're looking at the data that I've just brought back up on the screen here. What are some of the things that you might want to point out from this that folks may be surprised about here in Aroostook County? Right.
So if you take a look at the chart on the left, I'm looking at the yellow, and so that's the most recent. That was from 2017 data, and so you can kind of get a feel for, it's about 14% prevalence of childhood obesity in Maine and kindergarten, and the 3rd grade is 12%, 5th grade is 19%. And middle school age is about 15%, and high school is also 15%. What's not on here is surprising. I have an adult percentage, and it's 36%. So that tells me a lot that as we get older, sometimes we're just, I don't know what the reason is, but but we want to make sure the children have the information growing up and that it's instilled in them, and that healthy living and healthy eating is very important as you grow. It's a lifelong learning. But the good news about this chart is that Maine is below the national average, which is great news, really.
That is great news, and translating it into the adults, you can only blame slowing metabolism so much. I mean, it's important that we keep active and that we eat properly. But the health effects as well. I see the other side on the right-hand side here. We're talking about what happens as a result of being obese, and there are multiple complications that could occur in life as a result.
Right. So we want to kind of focus on that, where the problems in childhood obesity could be type 2 diabetes, joint problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, asthma, sleep apnea, depression, low self-esteem, fatty liver disease, skin problems, and early puberty in girls. And there's also, and there's also some concerns as we become adults. And so sometimes we see heart attacks and stroke, cancer, gallbladder disease, kidney stones, osteoarthritis, and pregnancy complications. So it really is an important message.
So talk to me about how folks can stay healthy and active this time of year. I mean, normally you can give advice for a season ahead, but if we would have been taping this program heading into last weekend, we would have been talking about outdoor springtime activities,
yes,
and now we're talking about outdoor winter activities, it appears. So what are things folks can do? I think you have some good suggestions here. I'm going to bring up another image that you gave me that may help give some folks some ideas or some resources to connect.
Right. So just some examples of things that you can do inside. Maybe set up a scavenger hunt, a dance party, maybe do some yoga. And my kids like to do follow the leader and maybe some animal crawls. One thing we do is a family game night. So those are all indoor activities that I find that a lot of people are doing. Outside things, I guess it depends. It depends on the weather, and but definitely your dog could benefit from taking that extra walk outside. So,
I will tell you, having done that personally, the last weekend I took a run with my Jack Russell Terrier, and coming back both times, I got additional physical activity because I had to completely bath her because it's mud season in Aroostook County, and your dog will come back dirty.
Right. So I guess today it would be build a snowman or go out snowshoeing.
Definitely. Right. I'll just refer to you two as Elsa and Anna in this production, as the kids out there would be familiar with. So
right.
So there are other resources though that folks can access, correct? That you might suggest, Renee?
Absolutely. So on the slide here, I have I guess you have it right there. Yep, it's a paper fortune teller. And so I have been able to send out a few thousand of these hard copies to ACAP, children and to local children, to early child care providers. And I'm doing my best that I can to get these sent out throughout the mail. I guess, also you can have it digitally. And so that's important to know. And so the resource you can find this, so it's mainehealth.org. And if you go to mainehealth.org, this fortune teller can be downloaded. You can digitally download it and print it out. So that's the joy of technology today. So.
And then you have the link winterkids.org as well, which I would gladly turn into springkids.org anytime, but that has resources.
Right.
That has some resources
as well. On. Right, and so we're still hanging on to that, but I do have this Guide to Outdoor Active Learning manual, and so this is lots and lots and lots of it's curriculum, and but it can be for families, it can be for school teachers. It's a great resource, and if you go to winterkids.org, lots of ideas, fun ideas for families and individuals too.
Great. Some good resources from the both of you. Not only are we heading into spring, but we're also heading into a holiday weekend. And so family, although this holiday is going to look different, families are not going to have larger gatherings, I suspect, as a result of the social distancing guidelines. Advice from the both of you as you deal with healthy nutrition and physical activity. How do we get through a holiday weekend and enjoy but not overindulge? Alison, at the plate behind you, I'm going to start with you because you seem to have the ready-made visual aids.
Well, I do. And funnily enough, what's designed for kids is also designed for adults. So this is a 9-inch plate and it looks pretty small, but that is actually, it works for kids as well as for adults. So 9 inches.
So that piece of ham should be about as big as on the bottom quadrant there, right?
Right, protein, and you'll notice that that's not even quite a quarter of the plate. But make half of your plate fruits and vegetables. Make half of your grains whole. Protein, and that can be all different kinds of protein, whether you have meat or fish or eggs, and dairy. So that's what my plate looks like. So this is really the size of it. So just be mindful of that when you are eating and enjoying your family, whether it's virtually enjoying your family and reminding grandma to unmute, or whether it's by yourself. Or I think that this is a good opportunity for reflection. It's springtime. Rebirth and all the messages of this season of Easter. It's important for us to do self-care as well. And I think that we're hearing a lot about that on television or other social media, but it really is important to be thinking about reaching out to our community, whether it's over the phone or whether it's texting or over social media. It's important, and I think that that's what we're learning.
And Renee, a healthy walk, family walk with that dog that you've been holding downstairs so that, that they don't interrupt this broadcast. Wouldn't be a bad idea after that Easter dinner, would it?
Absolutely. Maybe a little yoga or, just some family time, some family game nights, things like that. We plan on doing some egg decorating and some dyeing of eggs. So we're just going to stay active after we eat and just enjoy each other's company.
Great. Any last word from either of you that we haven't, anything we haven't covered that you want to make sure you got the message out to folks today?
It's a great opportunity to do that. And I think that this is a chance for us to see how our coworkers in other parts of the county work. And I've enjoyed seeing that, witnessing that, and thinking about ways where we can connect even more. It's been really helpful.
Well, Renee?
Yes, thank you. I just appreciate the opportunity to talk about our programs, and I do wish everybody to stay healthy and take care of their families, and just be mindful of where you're at right now and the good things too that are happening, because I've been able to see those happening as well. So.
Well, and some of the good things that are happening are coming out of both of your innovative and creative spirits. So I want to say thank you to both of you and wish you both a happy Easter, and hope that you continue to be able to serve the individuals that you're serving and families that you're serving across Aroostook County moving forward, and hopefully we'll be connecting with them in person soon when it's prudent to do so. So thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
And before we leave you, our viewers today, we want to remind you that as both Alison and Renee have shared, we are indeed all in this together, and reaching out is very important. Please give a call to your neighbor or to your loved one. Make sure you wish them a happy Easter and make sure that they're okay at this time. But also, please do feel free to reach out to us. Our offices will be open again on Monday morning at 8 o'clock, and we'll be here for you. Please give us a call at 764-3721. Or reach out to us online, info-acap@acap-me.org. If you're in need of services, please do consider going online and filling out that pre-service questionnaire that I spoke about at the beginning of the broadcast so that we can help best direct you when we call you back. You can also check us out on Facebook, where you can find the link for that. Check us out on the web at acap-me.org. And also, as Alison noted earlier, check out our YouTube channel, where you can see some of the things, the creative things she's been doing, as well as some of our wonderful early care and education professionals and health educators across Aroostook County that have been putting out some really good materials. And they're not only for individuals who are part of the ACAP family, they're for our Aroostook County family. And we're pleased to share those with you. And just a reminder as well of another resource that's available to you. It's aroostookcommunity.com. It's a website where you can get help or give help. aroostookcommunity.com. And if you are unable to log on or unable to navigate the site for whatever reason, please do call us at 764-3721. We have folks standing by that can help connect and link you to those services. And finally, we end each day, and as we head into this Easter weekend, with our snapshot of the day. And I have no one to blame but myself for the caption on this one, so I'm going to give it a run because it's a tongue twister. This caption for this photo is "Taco the Tucker Turtle Time for this toddler." I got through it, yay. This is a picture of Amelia with her Tucker Turtle puppet she named Taco. Amelia is a student in teacher Catherine Green's ACAP Head Start classroom at the Region 2 School of Applied Technology in Holton. And Amelia, we wish you and your family and all of the families out there a happy and blessed Easter season. And we thank you all for joining us for this edition of ACAP Today. On behalf of our entire ACAP team, more than 160 strong across Aroostook County, thank you so much for being with us and for letting us be with you through this journey, through this very challenging time. We're here for you, and we're glad that you're here for us. Thank you all, and have a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter, everyone.